Good morning, everybody. Alright, today is Thursday, the 20th of October. Current time, a little bit before 6 a.m. local time. We're in Plymouth, Michigan right now, on the west side of the Detroit area. As I mentioned in the previous videos, today is the day. I'll be delivering here in town to Sherwood Foods. Sherwood Foods is off of I-96. Not too far away from hitting 96 now. I've got a couple of curves up here, and right now we're eastbound on Highway 14 from I-94. We're not too far from I-275. Actually, right where 275 and 96 and 14 all meet up. Over on the east end of Plymouth, I guess I would say, would be where we're just almost to. Alright, so this is our load of JBS beef that I picked up in Tolleson, Arizona. I got two stops. This one coming up here on this that you're going to see in this video, and then I got another one in Syracuse, New York tomorrow morning. We'll do that one in a separate video, I think. I don't know how. I'm okay. I think it's okay making videos a little bit shorter than what you're accustomed to seeing from me. Alright, so thus far with this load, it's hasn't exactly gone as planned, but like, at least I'm here on time. Is my truck ever gonna jink brake or not? Or just because I'm near the bottom of the hill, IPM decides let's just coast. I'm expecting it's supposed to jake brake when I get 5 miles an hour above my set speed, and it's not. Alright, anyway. Alright, so what was not so well planned, I guess. That first shift out of Tolleson, let's see, I need to move left, I think. At least the signs tell me to use this lane to get on 96. Alright, so I had no problems getting up to Holbrook and on I-40. The issue I had, let's see, I can't remember, did I try to get fuel in Holbrook? I don't recall. Might have, or I don't know, but I ended up running all the way to Grants, New Mexico. I was getting that around that time in the morning when I like to shut down anyway, but I had only driven 300 and some odd miles. I don't remember for sure. It wasn't nearly as far as I originally intended to. I think I really intended to get to like Santa Rosa or Tucumcari at the very least. I'm not a fan of staying in Tucumcari. The cell service always sucks there. So even if I can reach Tucumcari, more often than not, I'm not going to stop there if I don't really need to. So, I mean, sometimes I will, but more often than not, like say if I'm on I-40, I'll just stop at Russell's Travel Center, or maybe that Valero station off exit 350 on I-40. If I'm heading east, or I'll check up, whichever. Maybe stop in Santa Rosa or something. Alright, we're on 96 now, by the way. Well, I stopped in Santa Rosa at the ACAL Travel Center, which is a very common place to find JCT drivers getting fuel, like myself. And I got my fuel in def, and then I go back inside to finish paying for it, and the transaction kept rejecting for system error, whatever the hell that meant. And it turned out it seems to be a security feature that was added into our cards. Because we've had a few drivers who bought fuel with their EFS cards, and they swiped their cards at compromised pumps, basically. Now, what scammers are doing now, because you got to be watching out for this. If you're at a fuel island, there should normally be a sticker that's attached to the corner, or one of the corners of the, or not corner, but one of the edges of the panel, that you interact with. And if that thing is broken, there's a good chance there might be a card skimmer on that, installed on that island there, or that pump, whatever. So yeah, we had actually just had a driver in our Facebook group not too long ago talk about how they found out their fuel card was compromised because they swiped it at one of these compromised islands. What happens is the scammers will actually break the seal on that, open up the panel, and then they'll unplug the computer thing, whatever. And then they have a skimmer that attaches to the back end to that, and then they plug it back in, and and if it reboots correctly, and all that kind of stuff, nobody's the wiser unless they're paying attention to that sticker thing. If somebody had this problem and it turned out it was there was actually another case where a I don't think it was a JCT driver, but it was somebody else who reported on a Facebook group that theirs also got compromised, and the only reason they got caught, or no, I don't think it was that, I think it was an article that I read. Whatever the case, there was another one of these compromised pumps, though. It was the same exact situation there, but the difference was when the skimmers hooked it back up, it didn't come back online. So I think it was like a Flying J or whatever, a Pilot or Flying J location. The staff there went over to the fuel island there to investigate why it wasn't working, and when they did that, they ended up finding out that it had a card skimmer installed on it. So they removed it and called the police, or in some order, I don't know, but yeah. So what they're doing is, like say with us, we have certain parameters that are required. That you're supposed to input when you're doing a transaction with your EFS card. So the skimmers can pick up that information when it's being input, and then they can spoof it and your card number and all that, and use it somewhere fraudulently somewhere else. So JCT added in a security feature that now requires the system to geolocate the truck and compare it to where the location is. It's where fuel is being purchased. We're getting pretty close here, by the way. And if they don't closely enough match, then it doesn't authorize the transaction. So, I wasn't victimized by that, but the problem I have is the security feature that was installed, and I guess there was perhaps an update that needed to be done on my Qualcomm or something, or I'm not really quite sure. Either way, I couldn't get it to authorize the transaction. A night dispatcher was able to get it to override. Let's see, we got, I think, 2 more exits after this. I think I'm going to drop in behind this guy here after he passes by me, so I don't want other people passing me on the right when I know I'm not too far away. Yeah, I should only be about 3 miles away from my customer. Alright, anyway, yeah, he was able to do an override so I could actually pay for it without having to use my personal account. But I ended up finishing that shift in Pratt, Kansas. And then, Outer Drive. I don't know if it's Outer Drive. I want to say it's exit 182 or something like that I was looking for, but yeah, I thought I saw 182 or something like that. 96, all exits. All right. Anyway, I ended up stopping at that new TA Express over in Edgerton, Kansas. I think it's what it's called. Tried to get fuel there, and it wasn't working again. Come on. I'm sliding over once you let me over. Nope, that's not my exit, but I probably use it. I believe there's another exit right after this that I want to use. So, yeah, it didn't work. And I was like, you know what? I couldn't. Our night dispatch, I wasn't able to get it to bypass again, or it was able to override whatever, but I think it said 0 or whatever, 0 gallons allowed or whatever. Evergreen Avenue, yeah, that's the one I want. Evergreen Road, whatever. So I need to slide over into this exit only lane here. But anyway, I ended up just leaving there, giving up on getting fuel and thinking, well, maybe I just want to see what happens if I attempt to get fuel at an in-network location, which would be Love's Pilot Flying J. And, alright, so we're going to make the right turn up here. What the hell? Oh, that's just for... I'm confused. Yeah, I was expecting a traffic light, but that stop sign over there threw me off, and I think that stop sign was just for the traffic that's already on the road, though, not for me. Alright, I end up continuing up to there's a new Love's in Cameron, Missouri, off of I-35, just south of US 36. Which is where I was going to turn. No turn on red. Alright. Psych. Okay, we're going to make another right down. I got C north. We'll finish this story in a second here. I think this lot right here is the one I want. I do see a bunch of trucks already here. Now, I did notice when I scouted it that there was a pretty good chance I'd be able to show up here overnight, but I had questions about whether I really wanted to, because, I mean, we're in Detroit, and then look where we're at. What's in the areas? Residential, and I don't want to be around residential stuff, especially a big city like this. probably not going to be good stuff happening here. So I decided, ultimately ended up taking a couple hour break in Battle Creek. Let's see. I guess. I don't know why that stop sign was back there, but face mask required. Alright, we're checking in. I didn't even get a chance to ask her if overnight parking is allowed here, but I should come over here like the far end or something and check in where you see the receiving office. I'll tell you what, she's got a fucking attitude. Because I was a little bit confused. Now, mind you, I had to have a face mask on. So, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of hard to hear sometimes with that damn thing on my ears. And she said, go over here. She didn't say drive over here. She said, go over here, whatever, to where the receiving office is or whatever. It's I guess it's down on the end on the right or something. And I don't even know. But yeah, I should go over there first, check in, and then come back and park in the staging lot, which was the one right there that was right by me. I don't know if this is it here or not. But, you know, so I asked for clarification. Wait, do I walk or drive over there? And then she gets an attitude with me and says, sir, drive over there. Or something like that. And, like, seriously? So I said, you gotta lose that fucking attitude. You don't need to be talking to me with that shit-ass attitude of yours. Not very often I have issues with guards or staff like a lot of people tend to. It's right here, it looks like. I mean... Okay, I guess. I don't know, not sure really to park here or, I mean, don't know what to do with and not be in the way, so.
You have 1 hour and 24 minutes of remaining drive time.
But if anyone representing Sherwood Foods watches this, that lady needs to, she needs to get her attitude in check. Like someone's gonna do some. Someone's gonna freaking smack her up the head pretty good. Not me, but someone else will if she talks to people like that. All right, so we're checked in now. Just go in the door here and then up the stairs. I'm gonna figure out. I got this guy coming up behind me, so I got to figure out what he's doing too. Come on, dude, you're not gonna park right behind me, are you? Seriously? Yeah, that's really smart. How about, yeah, there's plenty of clearance here. How about I'll have to back my trailer into here so I can get it turned around. A little bit tight there, but alright, so the Miss Rude guard there, I guess it's going to call whenever they have a dock door ready for me. I need to make sure my ringer's on. I don't know what her problem is, but it's, I mean, that shitty attitude kind of pisses me off that she talks like that. You know, I have to actually question even if there's any racism going on with that. Now, it's common for blacks to question if whites are being racist. And a lot of times there isn't any racism going on at all. I mean, sometimes there is. But, now, the reason I say this, because this is a kind of heavy-set black lady. Yeah, this is in bad shape. That's what the Google reviews suggested, too. You know, and now her ethnicity shouldn't have anything to do with it, but you know, there are different subcultures too within each group, and maybe I'm misreading her, but I get just kind of this vibe that, yeah, crap, this is bad. I mean, that she could be the kind who doesn't like white people. I mean, not to bring up, I really hate talking race, but, I mean, come on, those of you guys who are black, you guys probably have, or not even just black, but even Hispanics or whoever else, probably have enough experiences with, you know, whites who were pieces of shit to you. But a lot of you guys can figure out that only certain types of whites tend to be the most, you know, like, tend to be racist in certain ways. Honestly, I think everybody on the planet is racist to some extent or another. Everybody thinks they're not, but in reality, doesn't matter who you are, it's what your skin tone is or whatever, everybody is racist to an extent. You know, there is no you are or you aren't. Everybody is. It's just a matter of how much you are and how much you ideally want to be, or don't want to be, whatever, is where the question is at. Alright, we're almost lined up here. Alright guys, finally got a dock door. It's already 9:39 or 9:38, whatever. Yeah, I've already been here for over 3 hours. We're going to be docking into door 40, and it says the lumper fee is $140. I was out cold there. Alright, Prime, what are we doing? This is 83 over here. Probably going to be over in that area where all those other trucks are at. We're on the chilly side here, 40 degrees right at the moment. Oh, come on. I think he's confused and doesn't know where because he just came in through the gate. I just watched him. Alright, door 40 looks like it's going to be right by, right about where this long nose is in front of us. Long nose looks like he's in 42. Looks like we'll be able to get a mostly straight back set. Well, maybe not quite straight back, but maybe an offset. Find out here once Prime ever lets me get my get up and lined up with my door. That's funny. It looks like Donald Trump driving that that rig the way it's the way that decal's on the window. All right, yeah, I'm gonna be right next to this guy, so see what this guy's doing here. Looks like he's still trying to square up with this door, but. Alright, 2 doors in a row. I'm going to go ahead and, yeah, it'll be an offset blindside. Yeah. That curb there is going to be a problem for the tractor. I don't have a problem with doing an offset blindside. I just don't want to be set up in a way where I'm at a little bit more risk of hitting the other guy. Alright, so we're all clear there. Get my tandems over there a little more on the quick side if I can. It gives me time to adjust it in as we get closer to the door. No, I'm still pretty far off. Aired on the caution side, so I didn't get too close to this guy. It was couldn't see the blind side of my trailer, so just go ahead and let the tandems come all the way back. Now we can correct it. Alright, trying to get my tandem centered in front of the door. Now we're going to back up. Come on, one creek mode. There we go. I think you're creeping. Alright, now the anyway, yeah, the girl in the receiving office, younger lady, she seemed a lot more professional than this lady at the guard shack. I got to thinking earlier, you know, the other way I could have handled this would be to just say, you know what, if you want to have an attitude with me, I can always take the load somewhere else, and you guys won't get your what you ordered. You know, and then you can explain to Sherwood why the drivers were refusing to deliver. Don't get that kind of shit with me. I'm not going to sit there and do business with someone who has a fucking snotty attitude like that. So, I'm not going to say I won't come here again, but if I come here again and I get attitude like that again from a guard, I'll just turn around and go park at a truck stop and tell dispatch they're not getting their load until their guard either gets replaced or apologizes and talks to me in a more professional tone of voice. Because I'm not going to put up with this shit. And they don't deserve their shit if they're going to have people like that working their guard shack. I know usually the guard shacks, the personnel don't actually work for the receiver, though. They usually work for a third-party contractor. So a lot of times, to some extent, it's actually beyond the customer's control who the guard is. But yeah, well, they have a lot of complaints about us. If they have certain issues with certain guard, they can always tell the contractor, "Hey, this particular individual is no longer allowed on our property." And if they have a regular habit of getting problems with the contractor's personnel in general, when it comes time to bid for a new contract, yeah, sorry, you guys are assholes to our people. People don't want to come here because you're people, so we're not doing business with you anymore. Yeah, and then they award the contract to somebody else. That's kind of how business works sometimes. All right, so let me get this lumper request sent in, and we'll get out of here once we're done unloading. All right, guys, we are done unloading, sort of. It is already 1:05 in the afternoon. Some 7 or so hours after I got here. So the bills are not ready yet, but I was told that she wants to put another truck in my door, so she needs me to pull out and park over here across from the doors and wait for my paperwork. From what I saw in the reviews, it'll probably be some. It's at least suggestive that there's some time that where people wait between when they pull out of a door and when the bills are ready. So And I'm fine with that because I'm on a 10-hour break. So I can either stay here. You know, I don't know yet if I can stay here for the rest of my 10-hour break. If my bills are ready before my 10 is up, I'm going to ask them if I can stay on the property until my 10 is done, possibly. But on the other hand, don't know that I really want to, and I'm running on recaps, so I have to.
You have 0 hours and 42 minutes of remaining drive time.
When I stop moving, I'll find out how many hours I have left on my 70-hour clock, because it doesn't matter if I do a full 10-hour break. It's when can I start rolling into my recaps. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and get my doors closed and all that. Alright, so yeah, I have just over 3 hours to go before my 10 is up. Come on. I got 7 hours of on-duty time left on my 70, so 16, 19. Yeah, I'm gonna have to sit for more than 3 hours so I can roll into my. Yeah, it's either that or do a split. So even if I do a 10-hour break, and, yeah, I don't mind doing a split, but I don't want to do a split where I show up late in the evening or at night, whatever, to a truck stop that's going to end up being full, and have problems there, and especially if I'm going to have to spend 2 or 3 hours there on top of that, or actually longer. So if my bills are ready soon, I think there's a better chance I might just go ahead and run straight down to the Flying J. It's about 20 miles south of here in, I think it was Wildwood or whatever that town is. It starts with a W. It's all I know. But it's kind of what I'm leaning toward possibly doing. Just depends on what time I get done here. Alright guys, we are all done here. Have bills, everything. Lumper fee paid. As I mentioned, that was
36 minutes of remaining.
okay. I don't need that help. I just want to go to personal convey. I'm gonna force to move by shipper, and we're gonna head down to the Flying J in Wildwood. I think that's what that town was called. I had to make sure it was actually saying personal conveyance. I don't know if I can stay here on the property, and with the amount of time I need to spend waiting for so I can roll into my recaps, I don't want to anyway. It's really I got just over 7 hours left on my 70, so the earliest I can roll into my recaps would be about 7.5 hours ish. Well, actually a bit less actually, but if I do a 30-minute break somewhere in that area, yeah, I can always do the 30 and then roll into the recaps as well. So we'll just say at most 8 hours, or at the very least 7 hours, and perhaps 8 hours before I can roll into them. So I'm in the Eastern time zone, and my recaps come in Central time at midnight. So it'd be like 25 hours here, and then subtract 7, that would be 1800. So between 1700 and 1800 this evening is the earliest I can roll and actually be able to roll straight into my recap hours. Alright, I don't know if I need to show my bills or anything like that, and she's gonna probably want me to have my mask on again, or does she just let me right on through? I don't know. So she's on the phone. Oh, yeah, she's waving me through. Okay, we're good. Okay, so apparently, this guy who's behind me right now in the red Volvo, I guess he had the same concern with this lady at the guard shack. He's not even white either. He's so it's not like that doesn't really give any convince that that she just has an attitude because I'm white. Because they say he's not white, and even he was saying stuff when we were waiting on the girl in the office. He had similar complaints about her attitude. So, yeah, it's just how she is what it sounds like. Do these people not know about not blocking the intersection? Like, don't go into an intersection if you can't clear it. This is going to be a fun time getting out of here, I think. Alright, so we just got a green light, and intersection's being blocked by people who don't know how to stay behind the limit line until it's time to, until they can actually. What is up here? Is this car broke down now? Right in the middle of the freaking intersection? Alright, so it turned out that was a funeral procession. That's why everyone was running the light. Alright, let's see what this SUV's doing real quick. Alright, looks like we're good here. I'm not going to keep waiting here. We've waited long enough. Hopefully, yeah. I wanted to get out as far as I could so those cars could at least go by. So, alright, we're going to head back over here to I-96 and take it over toward downtown. How do I get onto... Oh, wait a minute. I might need to, so it doesn't look like there's a ramp directly on the 96 right here. Best I can tell, I'm going to have to cross over. I was debating whether to use turn right instead and then make a left on that east-west street, and I can cross back over, but, I'll get back on at the next road down, but I'm already committed to going this way. What I'm going to go ahead and do is just come straight ahead this way instead. Hit the next east-west arterial up this direction and then take it back over. There should be some kind of hamburger. Sonny's Hamburgers over here at this intersection where I'm going to turn. Or, wait a minute. No. I mean, I don't even have to do that. I didn't even notice this until I just happened to be looking. I'm like, wait, on Service Road, I see people getting on, and there was the other bridge here, and then I realized this going on here, and I saw the sign there on the right side saying 296, go this way, so. Alright, this is definitely funky. Alright, yeah, it's flashing red, not solid red, which means it's a stop sign. Okay, so, yeah, there was a lady there blocking the intersection. I thought, or a driver or whatever, I thought they were just broke down, so I was going to go just check on them. Hey, do you need a push out of the way or something? And then the guy who was at the end of the intersection there, trying to go the same direction as me, he rolled down his window and was telling me about how it was a funeral. I was like, oh, okay. It's like, man, I thought she was broke down. And I was like, I didn't know why people were just running the light and not giving a shit. But then, and it made totally good sense once he actually explained it. So, I don't know, kind of funny there. Alright, so, yeah, it's 96 over to 75 south. is the route I'm going to... I think I'd mentioned 94, but I meant to say 75. So that'll be the route down there. It is generally in the direction of my next receiver, but it's also the nearest truck stop. So it's the nearest safe and reasonable location to stop. Actually, that is something Carl Green, one of my friends, he had suggested I talk about that, and this was also talked about on the Asian Mice show recently. That's the same video that he had sent my direction. I was already aware of it, I just hadn't read it, listened to it, because I'm already well versed on what the HOS guideline, the PC guidelines say, because I've read that FMCSA webpage myself numerous times in the past. When they first came out with the new guidelines back in 2018, I had read them. But I'm gonna go ahead and Express. I don't know what the difference between next time. I guess I could have done Express. I don't know. I'll just go this way for now. But anyway, yeah, there are some things in there that that guy on the Asian Mice show, I kind of disagree with him on. Or a little bit of a detail that I don't think that he elaborated on. And that is, like, when you go to the nearest safe and reasonable place to park, I think, if I recall, it specifically says when you are out of hours. If you don't have hours to work with, you can only go to the nearest safe and reasonable place to park. But he didn't elaborate on it. He alluded to the belief that, if you leave a customer, whether or not you have hours, you can only go to the nearest place to park, and that's not true. And I invite any DOT officer to challenge me on that if they want to give me a ticket or violation or whatever on that, and say, okay, we can talk about it in front of a judge. I don't care. I know both the letter of the law and the spirit of the law, because even even right there on the FMCSA website, there is there are videos of the FMCSA leaders having town hall meetings when they were discussing all this stuff before they even implemented these changes, making it quite abundantly clear what their intent was. I'm not going to go into that detail, but in fact, I'll probably better off if I discuss that in more detail in a totally different video. So, and I don't want to have this video take too much time anyway. So, yeah, I've already mentioned what I'm up to now. Going toward downtown. I'm going to take I-75 down toward Wildwood and park until I can roll into recaps. Otherwise, we're on our way to Syracuse, New York, to make our final delivery. Local lane speed limits 55. Yeah, it's due at 9 a.m. tomorrow, and I don't know what I'll be doing after that. The last time I was out in that direction, well, then again, last time I delivered in Syracuse, I had a follow-up delivery in Hunts Point in the Bronx. Now, this time I'll be emptying in Syracuse, so it's going to be perhaps a little interesting finding out where I'm going to deadhead to after that. It could be out to Gloucester, Massachusetts. It could be back down to Pennsylvania. It could be down to over to Dayton, New Jersey for a Hilti Tools load. I don't know. Whatever the case, there's a pretty good chance I'm going to be reloading at a shipper that you've never seen me at on my channel before, so that should be some interest. Alright, well, anyway, that's it. I'm going to go ahead and bid you all adieu, and we'll see you in Syracuse on the next video, right? Y'all have a great day. See you then.